Hey guys, I'm Dave Thomas. Welcome to BowHunterPlanet. Today we're checking out the new Hoyt Alpha AX2. This is our latest aluminum model. Before we get started today, I just want to say a special shout out to the companies who make this show possible. XOP Gear, who's making really great tree stands and harnesses and saddles, tree climbing sticks. They got pretty much everything you need to get up in the air as a bow hunter and get it done. I want to thank Trophy Ridge to help us bring all the rest you see in this show all the time. Of course, the Whisker Biscuit, what I consider king, because we're always using it here on the show, of course. But Trophy Ridge is also giving you 20% off. If you need it, go ahead and take it. Use code BHP2025. Take 20% off on their website today. You won't be disappointed, and it'll help hook you up. I also want to say a special shout out to Archery, who's making the Edge 2 and the Edge 2 Pro cameras, who are helping you get in the field and know when to get in the field with their amazing app, because it's going to give you information about the deer movement. It is really, really cool. All right, let's talk about the specs and the tech of the new Hoyt Alpha AX2 29. All right, this bow is going to feature speeds of up to 340 feet per second. It's going to have a axle of 29.5 inches, total weight of 4.25 pounds, brace height of 6 3/8, 25 to 30 inches of draw, and 40 to 80 pounds in draw weight option. This bow is going to MSRP at $14.49. All right, so this bow is going to feature the new Gen 4 HBX cam. This is a little bit different than the cam we saw last year because this cam is modular, which means that you will need a mod for the size you need. However, it does have 1/4 inch increments to give you a little bit of play in there. I believe up to 3/4 of an inch on your draw cycle. So if you are a person who's like 29.25, this is going to be really cool because you could get precise with that. Now with this cam, one of the reasons they used this cam and changed this cam was to get a little more speed, a little more power out of the bow, and we are seeing it. We saw it in the RX9, and we're going to test it again today, which I would assume it's going to have more punch power than last year's models as well. The bow does have 75, 80, 85% let off. It's got a little thing on the module here that you can adjust that depending on which one you want. As we take a look at last year's model right here in front of us, we can see obviously there are different cams. We have the HBX exact cam from last year, which was a rotating mod, whereas now we have the new HBX Gen 4 cam, which is modular, which you're going to need a specific mod like we said. You are going to have different limb pockets, slightly different. You can see the new one's a little bit smaller than the old one, just slightly different. The gray one here is our new one. And we're going to have different riser, slightly. I mean, the riser, of course, keeps the same look overall. But if you look at the detail on the riser, you will see, I think, more cutouts in the new model than the old model. A little bit different in design. Just on the bigger chunks they were able to cut out, it looks like to me. But, I mean, obviously it's very similar. I'm not suggesting it's completely different. It's not. But it does have different patterns. You can see down by the cage at the bottom, there's actually a different pattern there. And for those of you who are short draw, they do have an SD model now that will go from 23 to 27 inches. That will help you. Likewise, if you're a person who is shooting with further and you need a little bit bigger, you can also look at the 32, which will take you 26 to 31 inches of draw lengths. Hoyt still talks about the wire WRX strings they put on here, strings and cables, so you have their highest quality strings and cables on the bow. They also talk about the inline concept, keeping everything in line, which they give you that ability right here with give you the front Picatinny. They're giving you the IMS right here on the back if you want to use that type of rest. They also then give you the forward stabilizer, that's the shorty, and then you're going to have another spot for the bigger one if you need it. Amazing cutouts on this bow. Again, they did a great job making this leaner and lighter than last year's model. The whole concept, I think, was them to shave some weight off, which they were able to do. $320.4, 450, 285.8. All right, 550, 263.5, 650, 240.2. So I would say right off the bat, this bow is shooting really, really nice. Now, if you're a Hoyt shooter, you would already know what I'm talking about, but this bow actually does bring a little more lightness to it, and I'm really enjoying shooting this bow right now. And what that tells me is that for a bow hunter, this is gonna be a dream, especially this 29-inch model. It's 29.5 technically, but either way, this in a tree stand is gonna be awesome to shoot. And this is gonna be a very nice bow. So if you're in the premium market, you definitely need to be shooting this at your local shop. It is hitting super hard and it's extremely accurate. Again, the Hoyt bows hold on target very, very well. Here's our Alpha X30 from last year. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot these side by side so you can get a feel of the difference. Maybe you can hear a difference or see a difference, but just to give you an idea. All right, so if you're wondering, hey Dave, what's your hot take on the bow? What do you think about this bow? I'm gonna tell you guys, this bow is amazing. I mean, honestly, it is a great shooting bow. Now, is there a difference between this and last year's model? Yes, they do shoot slightly different. I do feel like last year's model is a little bit easier on the draw cycle, but I do feel like this one's a little bit harsher, but it hits a lot harder. So I don't know, you're giving up a little for a little, right? And I think, again, it's because of the cam system, because of what we talked about by going to that mod direct cam. They're getting a little more speed, more power of the bow. You're still having both an extremely great holding bow with this and last year's model. So either way, now what would I do? I would go with this one, honestly. I do think that having that little bit more power is a benefit. I feel like it gives you a little bit more power in the field, a little more hip power, a little more speed. I'm okay with that. I feel like I didn't give up much of a draw difference for that extra power. So to me, I think it's a win for the consumer to consider the AX2 compared to the last year's Alpha X. But again, both great options, you know, and again, it depends on what you need as far as the length of the bow. You have a lot of options here. I'm Dave Thomas. Thanks for sticking around. Check out Hoyt online. Go to their website. Check them out. I'll put a link below, and check out the AX2. Go shoot in your local pro shop. I think you're going to like this one if you're someone looking for a premium bow. We'll see you next time right here on Bow Hunter Planet.